Wow, that was loud. Ho, ho, ho. I assume it was loud in your guys' ears, but in these headphones, man, that was loud. Well, I guess good morning. Wake up. It's Monday. It's time to get at it. It's time to lock in. Are you locked in? You're locked in. I see you. Pickle's locked in. He's here. Sin's here. In's here. Just my style. Dom, Riga. What's up, bros? One up. Good to see you. Shane, Donato, Winbella. What's up, Foxy? Line in my pocket. Cars and crypto. Ace of Hearts. BN. Tom G. Philly Skills. How you boys doing? We're back. It's Monday, and Bitcoin doing a little bit of the history. Setting history. That's right. As clickbaity as it could be, probably could make it even more clickbaity. Bitcoin did set history. Actually, just a few hours ago, something very spicy happened. Very, very spicy. Bitcoin closed its highest weekly candle ever in the history of ever. No all-time high, but a new all-time high close for a weekly candle, all the way up at 106.9 thousand, basically 107,000. We saw a very spicy move over the weekend, Sunday. It's all but already basically sold off, returned to where it came from, but still very, very exciting. Bitcoin coming within just 1% or 2% at this point of its all-time high over the weekend. And what's maybe more interesting than that, 2.5%, is we're seeing volatility over the weekend again. A lot of the time, Bitcoin does nothing, even more so does nothing over the weekends. And Sunday was an exception, or maybe starting a new trend here, closing 3.2% up on a Sunday. Just shy of all-time high. Bitcoin breaking record-setting history in real time. And yet, all is quiet on the front. All is quiet. Everything's quiet. No retail. I was making a joke with you guys before the live in the chat here that this bull run has been so weird, has been so brutal for new people that they don't even exist. New people entered the space and just time and space unraveled, and they don't exist anymore. They've undone their existence. It has been so brutal. Chart looking good, of course. We remained bullish. We're always bullish, baby. It's the easy bet with Bitcoin. But, man, it feels like we should just be at all-time high at this point, doesn't it? We have some stuff to look at today. Got some alerts on some charts. We're going to check it out. Look for that alpha. Shout out to One Up here, bringing this to our attention. I really still like this. The hash ribbons. Hash ribbon signal seemingly playing out over this weekend. Last year during the summer, when we traded from 75 down to about 50, we saw our hash ribbons. You may hear Carl the Moon yell about these. He used to love these things. I don't know if he still yells about it. Hash ribbons signaled a buy right before the low came in. So our hash ribbons, the buy signal, a good buy signal? Probably not. But that's not what we're looking at. We got our buy signal right here before our high, down into our range low. And, well, you pretty much remember what happened after that. We traded up to all-time highs. But before we did, we got a second buy signal. This one a little bit better than the right before the dump one, with a crossover of our ribbons here before moving to all-time high. Now we look again at this year's price action, and we have something really similar. We got our buy signal right before our range low, fingers crossed, knock on wood, in April. And now we see that signal firing up yet again, potentially repeating the exact same price action or the exact same signal setup as we saw last year into our all-time high. That did not disappoint. Looking good despite this volatility, things shaping up as we break from this range again, it seems. We can do a top-down analysis here. We'll get our bearings for the week. But I do have some other stuff we want to look at too. CME, of course. Bitcoin dominance, of course. Always want to look at that. Where's CME? Pull this over. See if you have any new gaps. Yields, 10-year yields hitting 5%. That's the first time for a while here. I guess we could take a look at that, but I'm still not an expert at bonds. I don't want to speak about things that I don't feel super knowledgeable about. But let's see who's here. Who's here? Who's locked in for the day? Wellington, our man Wellington Manoton, subscribed during the intro here when the music blasted. Be like Wellington. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Really quick as well, if you have not hit the like button, please press the like button right now. It helps YouTube show the live stream to more people. The more engagement we get, the more hype people are, the better these streams go. So I appreciate you guys. What's up, Fish? I see you, man. Shep, are you back from Dubai? How was your trip? Beef Wellington, that's right. What's up, Tillin? I see you, my friend. Foxy. Boss Mac. How you doing, Boss Mac? That's a boss name. What's up, Orlando? Craig Bowen. War Dog says smash the like, everyone. Good. Smart man. Wise man. Shep, renewing that membership. What's up, brother? What pattern worked out most of the time when you took a trade? Most of the time? More than 50%? I'd say that there's... you know. That's a hard question. I don't want to just rattle off something. Let's stay a little more focused for now. What's up, Das Peach? The good times. Sometimes a good little dump is what we need to clear things out. I would have preferred not to dump here. That would have been nice. It would have been nice to not dump immediately after that pump, man. It seems like Bitcoin really a big fan of 102.4 thousand. Maybe that's because it's like right around where my long entry is and just wants me to fold before moving higher. That'd be par for the course. Quite a dump. Still holding the lows. That's good. We haven't broken low from the last 2 weeks. Kind of double bottom here on low time frame, heading back up. We'll do some low time frame analysis too. We'll check it all out. We got to get warmed up. It's Monday. Give this man some likes. Thank you. What's up, Donkey Dan? I see you, brother. Raul San Miguel, how are you? Crypto Arrow, 2 week pumps followed by 6 months of down. It's hard, dude. I know. That is really what happened. Like, this is so brutal, man. This has been pretty much the whole run. It's like, what, maybe 2 weeks to 4 weeks of up, and then just 6 months of pain. And then 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks of up, and it's all, right back to how many weeks are we at now? 161 days. 4, 5 plus months, almost 6 months again. Yeah, this is trading on the hardest of modes, man. The hardest of modes. Bitcoin, crypto, this is not easy. It's not child's play. I don't know if anyone ever told you crypto is easy. They lied to you. You got to get better friends, man. If your friends are telling you crypto's easy money, got to get better friends. Those are not your friends, dude. Not your friends at all. Let's start here. Let's start zoomed out. We haven't done this in a little bit. Have not done it in too long. Let's flip to the highest time frames that we can really find. Let's go to the year. Of course, the yearly open 93.3. Hopefully behind us now, at least for the short term. 93.3. No price on there. Yearly open. If we do see a sell off from here and we see a range break, I would look for 93.3. Potential entry. I think that we have tapped this enough. I really do hope we don't go back to this. But this could be my line in the sand. Kind of under 93.3 closes again. Get a red year again. Things aren't looking so hot. I think that is likely behind us for now. Knock on wood, big time. But it was good to zoom out, get a little perspective. This yearly candle really just doesn't look like any yearly candle. This is why I've been repeating over and over and over again to you guys. I don't think that the top is in. I think we have more all-time highs coming. It may take into Q4 if we look at history. If history rhymes, Q4 might be when we see that. But this candle just looks nothing like any Bitcoin candle really ever on a yearly time frame. We can say maybe 2021, and that's the candle that makes sense, right? That's exactly 4 years ago. We look for that 4-year cycle still. But even then, does not quite look the same, man. Big bottom wick so far, almost no bottom wick. Tall top wick, almost no top wick here. This would be a really weird candle. I don't think Bitcoin has ever closed a 12% yearly candle. 120 last year, 150 the year before, 60% in 21, 300% in 20, 94% in 19. Like, maybe all the way back here. I think maybe this data isn't quite right because this is Coinbase. But it's like 23% in 2015. I don't know. Something doesn't add up. But it will with just another move. I still think it's coming. I have not really diverted or wavered from that stance. I think that we're going to see at least one more move up, at least one more leg up in this run. 6 month, very similar. Nothing really changed there. Let's go down to the quarter. The quarter getting more and more interesting and more bullish as time goes on here. Q1 served us a curveball. We have seen in the last 2 years of this bull run, Q1s be very bullish. Got a curveball. This was the first red Q1 we have had since 2022. Kind of wild. Since 2022, right? Yeah. Served us a curveball, which is my hopium that this summer maybe is going to look a little different. The last 2 years we've had really boring 6 months of sideways summers, but we started with a green quarterly candle into those summers. This year red, maybe we're going to see something a little more exciting. I think that's not a bad bet. After a pretty miserable start of this quarter, lower lows, we have seen price retake 93.3, that key yearly level once again, and now trading up. This is starting to look amazing. Not only do we have a bullish engulfing on our quarterly time frame, fair value gap, a rather bullish fair value gap potentially forming on this close above 93.3. We have price moving back to our range highs. That's really the last piece of this puzzle I think that we're looking for, is a break of the all-time high and then a measured move, maybe up to the upside. Conservatively, I don't know what we were looking at, 130, 140. Wouldn't be bad. To be kind of, I don't know, to me that would be a little boring, only 140 after all this time around here at 110, but looking at that 1618 extension, 138,000, very reasonable target. All we have to do, in my opinion, break 109, and I think we move to 140 maybe over the course of a week or two. We've seen that be the case so far. Probably would happen in a small period of time. Let's go down to the month. April, God, April was so brutal. Lower low into bullish engulf into closing above previous support, flipping to resistance. May ever so gracefully back testing 93.3, now reaching higher. Just hours ago, closed the highest weekly candle in history. Now May trading at the highest level, but if it closed here, for a monthly close, 102.4. Let's mark this on our chart. This might be the level. Oh, yes. I started this little rant with, man, Bitcoin really likes 102.4. I said, maybe that's because it's really close to my long entry, or maybe it's because this was resistance that has been broken and now is acting as support. That's reasonable. That's reasonable. Whoo! Oh boy. Oh, boys and girls, do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Now, this is a little threatening. A little threatening here. Momentum. We have two waves, a little uneven butt cheek-ish. However, do you see what I see here? Very, very spicy signal potentially coming here on the month, and I did not see this. This must be new. Like, this must be from the recent pump. Monthly momentum catching again. I saw a lot of doom posts essentially based on momentum rolling over in February, saying, well, that's the end of the run. That's the end of the bull run. You look back in history, and that was pretty accurate. When momentum rolled over on a monthly time frame, the run was largely over. However, it looks like another example of this run looking different, with a strong close in May, which I think is very likely now and definitely on the table. We're seeing that momentum pick up again at a higher low. Money flow has really remained elevated. We haven't seen this get pulled down. VWAP rolling over here in May. Wow. I think the monthly is actually shaping up right now for the first time, maybe since Q4 of last year, to look very explosively good. Explosively bullish. I like that. Let's see. Any of these simple MAs? Nothing, man. We're just floating. On the monthly time frame, floating up. Let's go down to the week. There it is. The highest weekly close came in. Now trading after back testing again, 102.4. Man, this is getting spicy. No pullbacks, just up. Man, that's all-time high worthy. I think it's coming. 20-week. Waiting here for the weekly Ichimoku cloud. That is probably going to lag. I think on a strong close this week we'll get it. Waiting for that cross up above the clouds. We have seen this generate each leg up, and it was a precursor to the rally. Kind of simultaneous in October of 23. But we got the cross up back there in October. We got the cross up again in October of last year. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, we're waiting for October again. Hopefully not. I want spiciness now, man. I don't want another 6 months of boring. But looking for that cross up to give us a beautiful bullish signal, and that will remain on our radar until it freaking happens. Here we go. Tagged low. Man. Tagged low. Moving up. Things are looking good. They're finally looking good here. Monday's candle. Typical brutal Bitcoin fashion, man. Beautiful pop yesterday. Fully retraced. Now bought back up. If this closes green, I think we get a full send this week. 7 hours to go. If Bitcoin closes green or above 106.5, I think we get like a full send week. Up. I think we tag all-time high this week if that happens. Beautiful test. Move back up. Man. Looking at our daily moving averages, still high above the 20, but more interesting to me. Golden cross coming in. Let's estimate when that'll happen. The death cross marked the bottom. We can look at golden crosses as we approach this. I think they've been bullish. I think they've been bullish while the market's been bullish. Let's do this super kind of janky way to project these out. This has been pretty accurate, actually. This has done pretty well. At least this run. What do we got? Wow, coming in soon. Golden Cross looking 23rd of May. 24th, 23rd, maybe Friday of this week. I guess I could see us, all right, say we close green today, we get a big run up this week. I could see Friday closing very high, maybe at all-time highs, maybe above all-time highs. Golden Cross come in, kind of get people skeptical over the weekend. That'd be some interesting timing. So far, these golden crosses have been pretty bullish for price. After the death cross marked the bottom last year, the golden cross came in late October. Lots of other signals fired. And basically, what do we see? Higher lows, higher highs into all-time high. Go back to 23. Death cross, again, marked the bottom. We pumped. We saw price move away from the golden cross. Again, in October, cross happened below. Everyone was saying, well, we're going to go test the cross. We did not. We just marched up. So kind of what we went over the last few months talking about death crosses and golden crosses. Just when the market's bullish, they're both bullish. When the market's bearish, they're both bearish. Market's still bullish, but this is going to be a sign looking forward. Basically, we can say, okay, well, when these major crosses happen and it's not bullish, right? We get a death cross, price starts selling off. We get a golden cross, price sells off, trades below, closes below golden cross. Maybe that's the end of the run. Maybe that's a good warning for the end of the run. I would not bet down on this one, not personally. That cross is going to look to happen at a very interesting price. Exactly 93.3, the yearly open, the pivotal, most important price on this chart, really, 93.3K. If we do see a sell-off and we do tag down lower, 93.3, baby. I don't think we're so lucky. I think the next time Bitcoin trades to 93.3, we're not going to want to buy it. That's my hunch. My hunch is that we're going to stay away from it, and then when we do inevitably come back to 93,000, because to think Bitcoin will never return to 93,000 would be very out of character. Nothing's impossible, but here we live in the realm of probability, the realm of reality. We go off what we have data-wise. It's not perfect, and at times it leads us in the exact wrong direction, but it's better than guessing. It's better than just throwing a dart at the board. Or maybe it's not. Maybe we should get more darts and more boards. Maybe we should do more TA that way. But it is interesting here, at the least, that we will see this golden cross happen very soon. End of week, probably like early next week, latest, like Monday next week. This is coming. And it is going to happen directly at the yearly open, at the most important price on the chart. It's hard to ignore. What does it mean? I don't know. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. But it is interesting. Sometimes that's all charts are. Here's something kind of spicy, actually. Using that 1618 extension to get 183,000 as our potential next leg up, very close to that price, puts the yearly open right at the 618, right at that golden cross. Wouldn't that be weird? Wouldn't that be scary, man? Please no. Please no, my family. My family, please. All right. Momentum. Weird. Momentum's still crossed. We haven't seen it uncross yet. This candle being a stickler. Being a stick in the mud for us. Let's zoom down to lower time frames here. I'm going to get back to the chat, guys. If you could, I know sometimes when I'm going through these, I get in the zone. I'm not reading chat. I'm not ignoring you. I just need to get through this. I'm very ADD. I'm focused in. Let me cook. But I promise I'll get to the chat and field your guys' questions. Look at what you guys want to look at when I'm done. Should be only another 5 or 10 minutes. In the meantime, please continue hitting the like button, sharing the stream out, subscribing, engaging, just in general, engaging. I appreciate you. It matters. It matters, my friends. All right. TA dartboard incoming. Damn, look at these 12 hours. We might just roll right back to 106.5. Holy shit. Now up since the start of the stream. That's rare. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is, man. Prices going up during the live. That is spicy. That is spicy. I see the hearts coming in. Keep tapping those hearts, those engagement buttons. Show YouTube you like this stream. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. Golden cross on the 12. Boom, up higher. These crosses are still bullish. Market's still bullish. What do we got on Ichi? Nothing. Ooh. These bands. 12-hour Bollinger Band. We got a video coming out, by the way, on Bollinger Bands. Keep your eyes peeled. Notifications on. Look at these bands. Really tight. Last time the bands were this tight, they were actually not even this tight. That's what she said. Nice explosive move up. Brought us to that 105 marker. Here we are again. I don't know if I've ever seen the Bollinger Bands this like painted in, this filled in. Interesting. Interesting. That is very interesting. We'll have to come back to you. We'll have to come back. 12-hour Bollinger Bands. There's some alpha there. Little bear div on the 12-hour highs is what it is. RSI high is not coming up, not breaking higher with price. Not what you want to see, but I'm not going to let that dissuade me. Let's go down to the 8 hours. Let's do some random time frames here. Every time frame we've looked at, money flow has been green. That is good. Lower highs here shows a little bit of weakness on the 8 hour. Same bearish divergence still visible at the 8 hour time frame. Cross up above the clouds though. Okay. Not a lot there. These candles, there's just a different energy on these candles, man. You know, this weekend we got Moody, what was it, Friday, Moody downgraded U.S. debt. Probably long overdue, honestly. No matter how you want to look at it, guys, the U.S. keep racking up debt, and we have no plans whatsoever. We're not even pretending to pay it off. Like, we just keep running up more debt. Maybe we're not the best lendee. I mean, I say that, and then we're still, you know, AA or whatever, which is still prime, still like such a good lending. But it doesn't show a good direction for lending us money, and maybe that's overdue. That's been true for a very long time. But Bitcoin basically pumped off of this news, right? We had that bad news Friday. Yield, 10-year yield hit 5%. Bitcoin clearly liking it. These candles looking much different, honestly, than all of them. We've had really tiny candles, lots of sideways. The range is getting smaller, right? Contracting. It seems as of this news, as of bond yields and Moody's downgrade, these candles are getting bigger, volatility kicking up. Bitcoin's liking it. That's a good. I think that's good. I don't know how to read that anyway, except for bullish, baby. For the corn. Maybe not for everything else. 6 hour finding support at the 50 moving average. All right. Little bull div there as well off the low. Maybe balancing out some of the bear div we've seen on the highs. Down to the 4 hour, momentum picking up again. But these money flows, this is the one thing I'm skeptical of. When I look at lower highs on RSI and oscillators combined with money flow highs coming down, it's a little threatening. It is a little threatening. I'm not the most comfortable there. Maybe that's a good thing though. Maybe we shouldn't be comfortable. Typically we're never comfortable when we get a big move, right before the big move. Sometimes I'll find myself really stressed out in life. Like really just for, it seems like for no reason. I should wait till I'm reading the chat to bring this up. It's relatable, I think. Hold up. Let's do these lower time frames really quick. We have a reversal. Past the 618. Things are looking good, guys. This is the best. I want to say this is the best Bitcoin's looked in a while. Lower time frames, we're kind of seeing that issue of lower highs and money flow go away. Higher highs, higher lows on the 45. Let's get into the 30. Lots of green 30-minute candles, but that money flow trailing off again. 15-minute rolling up. RSI and overbought. I like it. Let's keep it that way. 10-minute, same thing. Wow, 5-minute beasting. This rally, this stream rally, not over. Not over at all. Low time frame still pointing up. Retest 106.5, very likely today. We might even see 107 tagged again. This is unusual. I'm so used to seeing green and then being like, yeah, everything looks bad on this. It's probably just going to sell off, and then it does. This is the first semi-convincing little rally we got in a while. In a while. That top-down analysis could have been better. I would say short-term analysis, looking for a test back up to like 106.5, maybe even today's highs. This is quite a reversal. Some good strength. Volume's still a little low overall, which is odd. It just is what it is. Is what it is. Dominance shaping up again. I think dominance still looking for higher highs too. Damn. We were talking about this potential. I think this is still on the table. I'm still looking for higher highs on dominance. That hasn't changed yet. But the potential of maybe a very similar looking price action coming in. Looking pretty good here. This sell-off very similar to the one we saw in February. Price already coming to tag that previous resistance again. Likely going to sell off to a higher low and look to push into that 66.74 range. I don't think anything's changed here. That could still spell pain for alts, but I have given you guys the heads up. I believe that alt USD pairs have bottomed for this part of the cycle. I don't think that alt Bitcoin pairs have bottomed. Dominance still showing us that there is room down for them, but they may, or even the biggest, deepest discounts on their USD pairs may be here or behind us. That can be confusing, I know. It can be very confusing. But the USD pairs likely bottomed, I would say, with kind of when Ethereum hit like 1,400 last week or the week before. Likely that was the last event before we see the move up. But with dominance moving up and Bitcoin USD moving up, likely just to see those USD pairs kind of stagnate, underperform, not look as good compared to Bitcoin. And whenever dominance finally gives up, I think we'll see big leaps from alts. So there are some gains, I believe, ahead of us still. No gap on CME. Okay, cool. That was easy. That was easy enough. I thought that was going to be like a long analysis. Ethereum long almost stopped out. Back to entry, not proving to be the best long. Oh well. Stocks, just where they closed on Friday. All right. What was I had something I wanted to share. Let me see if you guys also have this. So have you guys ever noticed, those of you who watch the chart religiously with me, have you ever noticed sometimes you'll just get super like kind of stressed out or maybe irritable and like in real life, and you won't have a reason necessarily. Maybe there won't be any kind of external thing going on. And even Bitcoin itself, kind of the charts you're looking at, maybe not doing anything. I have noticed that this happens to me, and I've gotten to the point where I can catch myself in it most of the time. But it's right before the big move comes. And it's weird because the price action isn't like really suggesting it. It's usually, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it had happened on Sunday, like over the weekend. Here, you're just trading sideways. You find yourself getting like really stressed out, and then a big move comes, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I feel relief from it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's my kind of crazy. Maybe not everybody's that way. But I've been finding that has been happening to me over the last 2 or 3 years more and more. Damn, this is not done. This ain't done. Send it back to 106. I don't think we get a pullback either. I think it's just kind of up. Pablo says I'm right. F moving. You get stressed when you play WoW. I mean, don't play WoW or just live with the stress, I guess. What's up, Paul Wood? You think Bitcoin are just smarter? We're just smarter. That's true. Don't panic, sell every headline. Yeah, there was a pretty panicky headline today, wasn't there? Bitcoin doesn't seem to really care. Something about Sailor. There's a class action lawsuit against Strategy. Who cares, dude? You could start a lawsuit against anybody for any reason. It doesn't matter. It's not news. It's just FUD. Bitcoin doesn't seem to care. I think that's good. You got stressed November and December of 21. All right, so you get stressed at the top. I'm like the least stressed at the top. That's not good. You notice that you want to text your ex when you're stressed before the moves. Great signal for trades. There you go, man. We have these little internal signals like that are real. Pay attention to them. Our minds, our brains are doing stuff that we might not even be aware of. Pay attention. Pay attention to those signals. They're kind of unique to us too. Whenever I find myself super stressed out for no reason now, I know within 48 hours Bitcoin's going to do something. Like, I just know it's just coming. When I'm super stressed and I cannot for the life of me pinpoint why, it's because a big move is about to come. And usually it's to the upside. I feel like the downside moves, I don't get that build up quite the same. How are we looking today, Ron? We're looking hella good short time frame. Hella good. Subliminal signals, maybe. Strategy doesn't seem to care, up 3.67%. Dude, that's the thing is, anyone can sue anyone. Class action, starting a lawsuit is not in any way like a sign of any kind of guilt or wrongdoing or like outcome. You know what I mean? It's just FUD. It's a really good time for FUD too. You're a little stressed when Doge is at 13 to 15 cents. True. I used to get really stressed at the lows. Now I get stressed right before the moves to the highs. Swear to God. Bitcoin dominance is crashing. No, it's not. You're looking at the wrong Bitcoin dominance. It's down 0.1. I'll give it to you. It's down 0.3%. I would not say it's crashing, my friend. Would not quite say that. Bitcoin Vegas can drop the price paper planes? Probably. Usually it does, but yeah, usually the conference does. This is the first time I feel like we've ever been close to a Bitcoin conference and price not just like already have eaten shit recently. Like usually heading into them, I feel like price has eaten shit. This is the first time I think we've ever been like near all-time highs, which is pretty wild. Pump it. What's up, Renee? Hi, Rennie Silva. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Shane Randy. Hope you're right and I'm wrong. I hope you're all right. What else is going on here? Tom G, with the credit downgrade impacting the Dixie, it makes sense to go risk on. I did bring that up recently as, maybe Bitcoin has always been waiting for the dollar to slip, and people, nobody thought the dollar was going to be slipping up until recently. People outside of crypto. People were like, the dollar is just going to be the dollar. Like for our whole lives, it's going to be the dominant currency. It's not going to change. I think people are starting to question that. Certainly the world outside of the US is starting to question that. I don't know if Americans are. But maybe Bitcoin has been waiting. Maybe that's what it needs. Maybe it's always needed the dollar to kind of step aside to embrace its destiny. Damn. Pretty harsh rejection at 102. Dollar only up 0.8% now off of the miserable close that was April. Like, actually surprising if the dollar doesn't close higher by the end of the month. Just with such a savage downtrend, just like a relief bounce from just the shorts closing, taking profit. Didn't even hit 103.6. Maybe this is our destiny, boys. This is what we needed. Ethereum 12-hour golden cross. Ethereum getting slapped by that 200 daily, but I think it's going to recover. I think it's got it. What's Coinbase doing? Remember when there was Coinbase? Remember the whole Coinbase thing, the hack and the... It's like it never happened. It was down for like a day. What else we got? Stocks actually just broke last week's high. Very, very barely. I sent an alert for 6K on SPX. Getting close to the previous all-time high, man. Getting close to when I told you guys I think you should take some profit on the S&P. Little did I know, I didn't think it'd drop like that. Damn. Quite a recovery. I don't know if I'm convinced that we're going back to all-time highs, though. At least in this quarter. I feel like we get a lower high. We talked about that when we first started talking about the 90-day tariff pause. Say, well, what happens in 90 days? You probably rally for 90 days and then lower high. All of a sudden your macro looks bad. Love to be wrong. Love to be wrong about that. Blast through, man. Blast through all-time highs. Pump it. Send it. Let's have a blow-off top this year. Pretty much no matter how I look at it, I think next year markets go down. Could be wrong. That's how I see it. What do we got here? Bitcoin against stocks. Closed at all-time high, fell down. Kind of doing something similar here to end of April, early May. Descending, lower low kind of channel thing. Maybe microphone-ish. I think that has all-time highs to come. Total holding on. Total really not budging. Down 1%. I don't know if it's going to even make it back to 3 trillion. That looks pretty good. Not as good as Bitcoin, obviously. Gold. Gold struggling. April 22nd. Gold. Low blow off. I don't know if I think that's a blow off top for gold. But we could just see gold, go back to moving sideways for a bunch of months. Act like gold again for a little bit. It has had quite the run. 2016. I say quite the run, but then in 10 years, it's only up 200%. Bitcoin's up what percent from 2021, 2022, right? Like, if it moves to 150K, it'll be up 10x from 21. Am I a MOG fan? No, I mean, I'm not really a meme coin fan in general. I don't really know what there is to be a fan of, right? Like, what is it that you're a fan of any meme coin, for the most part? Like, what is it you're a fan of? You like the meme, I guess. I don't know. I don't really make my investment decisions that way. You've yet to see no tax on overtime. I don't know how you do that, man. How do you not tax overtime? Like, and it's not that I'm against the idea, but why don't you just start calling every hour overtime, right? That's something I didn't get about the no tax on tips thing. Honestly, though, I don't, to my knowledge, and I won't speak in depth on it because I have not looked super in depth, but to my knowledge, the bill didn't exempt all overtime. It didn't exempt tips like from taxes. I don't know. That's the U.S. politician game, man. Say one thing, sign a bill for something else, and say you won. What am I drinking? This is it's more of this energy powder. Of course, with the creatine. Got to get that creatine in there. Endless your mom jokes. Your mom jokes are free, man. You don't need memes to do that. Can you some analysis on Mog or Brett? Let's see. I'll pull them up. Doge is a beast. Yeah, but Doge really isn't a meme in the same way. If Doge is a meme coin, in my opinion, then all these other things we call meme coins aren't meme coins. They're just shit coins. Doge is in a different category. Doge is like an actual chain. Doge is a proof of work network. Mog, you are not doing good. You have had a rough ride. You know, so like I don't know. It's not that I really hate meme coins or something. I guess for me, the strength of investing in this space for me has always been I believe in Bitcoin. No matter what happens to the price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes to $1,000 tomorrow or something, right? No matter what, I believe in it. Like, it is going to recover. I believe 100% it would recover. It would go back to all-time highs, probably like quickly if it had that kind of crazy move. When it comes to these meme coins, man, I don't have that. And I don't know why someone would have that. They're mostly just tokens that are just written up and generated right into wallets by devs, people who copy pasted some code, and they just have all the supply. And it's like, there's no mechanic there that I would have faith in that same capacity. Have I made money on memes? Yes. Did really well on Pepe. You know, Doge, like I said, is a little different, but made good money on Doge and some others. You know, I have. But like, I don't have the whole value kind of disproportion asymmetrical bet thing for me with Bitcoin is no matter how low it goes, it's really just a better buying opportunity for me. But with these other things, when they start to go down, I don't believe that they become better buying opportunities in the same way. I don't believe that they are like guaranteed to go back to all-time highs. That's me. I'm not really sure the argument anyone could make, though, to say that, you know, the memes will do that or should have that same kind of belief. But for me, that's where the risk to reward kind of formula is advantageous. Is that no matter what happens, it's eventually going to go back to its all-time high. Maybe you got to wait 4 years. Hell, maybe you got to wait longer. But eventually it does. Nothing else has really proven that. And so it's like, these can be good for trading, but I just don't understand kind of maybe the long-term mentality that some people have with them. I don't get it. That's where my disconnect is. Mog, man. Bag your 0.5, he closed above. It looks like this is an extension. Let me look at the other one. What was it? Brett. Like saying Brett. We had some good trades on Brett. Damn. This is like all of them though, dude. There's so many of these meme charts. It's just this long tumble down, a pump back to like 0.5. You're like halfway back from where you fell. 618. Let's clean this up. I didn't even turn on music. I was going to turn on music today. Damn, that's a high RSI hit to not be retesting highs. Shit. I mean, I think this makes it back to 10 cents at some point. You're probably still going to see this sell off down near 5 again. Maybe make that push to 10. I don't know. Once they break market structure, I'm just like kind of out on these charts. Close without saving. Close without saving. Turn this music on. Hold up. While I pull up some music, this is your perfect opportunity to make sure you've hit the like button, you've subscribed, jump in the Discord, check out the links in the video description below, help support the stream. Here we go. Ooh, 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. I like this one. All right. Bitcoin heading to 1065, if not higher today, man. What a beautiful, beautiful rally. Let's go. Let me refresh the chat. 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. It's a good song. Get out of here. Get out of here. What's up, Kato? Your daughter loves that song. Well, this is a remix anyway. Sats, it's about time. I think it's the time that we start calling a sat a Bitcoin. It's time for Bitcoin to just be like a penny. I think that's how we go moon. Lifer says XLM to 77 cents. I mean, if it ever breaks its all-time high. Whoa. If it ever. Oh, wait, no. 77 cents is under all-time high, isn't it? It's not really like a profound target. Sure. I can see 77 cents. 21's high at 80. Higher low. Lower high. Wait, hold on to this higher low. Oh shit, look at this. This filled. This filled. Just right at the line. This filled and then get stopped. Let's go. There's a target here, 50. I like 50 more than 77. I mean, 70's sure. It's not like a super fantastical target or anything. It's just like back to that high. This shirt's actually reminding me of something. What does this remind me of? Everything. It just reminds me of everything. I think by the time that actually happens, though, you'll like kind of wish you were in something else. I think XLM will eventually go to 77 cents, but honestly, I could really see it like doing it, just like doing this for like a long time, right? Just like forever dick around in this range. If you get another shot at 23 cents, I think that's a solid entry. We had that long place there forever ago. That's how often we look at XLM. Never. This is an interesting chart. XLM against XRP. I was looking at this while XRP was like pumping its brains out in November. Let's check back in on it. All-time low. Very, very briefly pumped, sold off. Yeah. Nothing there. What's a moonding? It's the new shitter. Moonding. Nah. I held the low for now. Lower high. Could be uglier. Break 35 cents and we'll talk. That's why I put the nah. I was like, I doubt it's going past its monthly. Welcome BitLab. What's up, BitLabbers? BitLabians. What's up? 1 week up, 5 months down. Starting to feel like trading stocks, Magic Man. You know, we just got a new batch of peoples in here. Kind of a hypothetical thing I proposed to you guys a while ago, which I think is kind of interesting, worth talking about, worth looking at. Gold's ETF in 2004 set it on basically a 45-degree angle up to the right trajectory. It had some pullbacks, but those pullbacks largely kept structure. It was like a boring rally, kind of like what we're seeing now, this up to the right, up to the right. This went on for almost 10 years. I proposed to you guys, I don't know when I first started talking about it, but we talked about it again maybe a week or two ago, that maybe Bitcoin might ditch the 4-year cycle. Maybe it's going to do something similar. Just this like slow up to the right grind. I think that would be the most painful thing for me as a content creator. That would suck. Because basically what that means is Bitcoin would keep hitting higher highs, so my portfolio would be good. You know, I'd be well off that way. But like hype would never really come. It would be a hypeless cycle. And price would continue to climb, but it would just be like every time it made a 1 step forward, 2 steps back, over and over and over again, and then maybe like one big jump forward, rinse and repeat. And like price maybe just looks like this. Like, would people ever get interested in Bitcoin? Like, would retail ever like really jump in? I don't think so. Not with this. It's too boring. It's not exciting enough. It never like gets good, right? What if it's just like this forever? Not forever. What if it just continued like this, right? I think we could get to prices, really, really high prices, and just nobody give a shit. Just nobody care. Because every time it'd move up, maybe they'd jump on and then they would just end up getting bored again. And it's like however long it takes for them to get bored. 6 months. Seems to be the magical number here. People just lose all interest after, I don't even know how many months. 6 months though. All alts go to zero versus Bitcoin. That is the hunch that is unfortunate for my portfolio. It seems to be that way. What about Litecoin? You think it triple tops? I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't sold my Litecoin. I think if Litecoin does go back to 420 this cycle, I think it breaks it. I think we see a move. I think we see a trade higher. Like at least 500. It just seems like a long time to wait for, like, you know, not the biggest gain. I haven't lost faith in Litecoin, but I'll say in general, lost some faith in altcoins, just period. Just doesn't seem like they do anything after their first cycles. We saw XRP break all-time high, but what did it do? It just like did nothing then. Solana broke its all-time high. What happened? Did nothing. It didn't go higher. Seems like coins get like one kind of cycle of hype and then nothing. I mean, there's time for this to be wrong. Yeah, there's time for this to be disproven. I would even argue that it would be kind of foolish to be even looking for those all-time highs at the moment, or even in this cycle so far, because we haven't seen dominance We haven't seen it blow off top. We haven't seen it break like we've seen in prior cycles. We haven't seen it hit a high and just come marching home. And all-time highs are likely in this time frame, whenever that is, after that happens. So maybe that'll still happen. Maybe it'll still come. I would love to be wrong. My portfolio would appreciate it if I was wrong. But it's just a feeling I've had, man. You see these coins hit all-time highs and they just stop. Hope I'm wrong. What's up, Recto? Monkey, doesn't matter to you. What's up, boys? Fred. BitLab Academy and their viewers just joined. Say hello. We love you, boys. Good to see you. Everybody's welcome here. Solana. We haven't even looked at Solana yet. Still short. Still short. 180. This looks weaker. He broke down low. This is still what I think. It's just like nothing has changed. Alts moved to their 200 days. They rejected. That's what we're looking for. We look to go short at them. Long to them, short at them. This still could happen, and this still could be very bullish. Especially if then you go on to break your 200. That is a great way to climb back to all-time high. So far, I'm still comfortable in this. Watching this 50 daily scoop up, come to like 150. I think from 150, if we get a touch of 150, I think you have a really good long back to 180. RSI is not bad. At least it didn't have any divergence, any bearish divergence or anything up here. This is a good trade so far, though. Come on, Corn. I said earlier in the episode, I don't think Bitcoin is done for the day moving up. It immediately took a break. It was like, watch me. Immediately took a break. I think we're heading for that daily open 106.5. It's just taking its time. What's up, Martin Mayer? Thank you for the 50 CZKs. Do you have a feeling Bitcoin could still reach 98K? What do I think? 98K. Yeah, I mean, 98K would be the logical place to look if we break the structure here. It's like, where is it? Right here, yeah? 618 from early May's move to the high right here. I mean, 98 is where I would look if we lose this. At the moment, especially looking at today's close, I think if today closes green, we moved to all-time high. Just because we moved to all-time high, though, doesn't mean we can't come back to 98. 98, I think, is still very on the table. I think 98 is still longable if it comes. 93 is the little more sketchy number for me. If 93 comes, I have a feeling it's not going to be a good long, which is weird because it's lower. But yearly open, I feel like if we come back and test this again, unless it's like really quick wick, I think it's not going to be a long we want. I'd prefer to see today close green. I prefer to see a rally continue to Friday. This is what I'm looking for this week, is today close green. If that happens, to be a signal for the rest of this week to continue green into Friday, and then maybe we see the retracement over the weekend. Depends how hot it gets, right? If we start moving above all-time high, closing dailies, maybe that retracement brings us back to, back to 109 or something. Still on the table though. It's not lost. It's not a very big move down. 6% versus we're closer to the all-time high though. I think we're more likely to move trade to the all-time high. Today is so bully. This candle shaping up, man. Max Payne, right? It would be. It wouldn't be sad. Can the institution's big money affect Bitcoin? Of course. I mean, everyone who participates in trading it affects it. The more money big institutions put into Bitcoin, the more incentive they have for it to continue going up. Cody Deluxe the third. No spice, dude. Yeah, no. Retail has zero interest in crypto. Yeah. I see it, brother. Dude, on this channel, we have been streaming live for almost 6 years. But I have analytics that go very far back. And I can see subscribers just like through the live streams and things. And like, bro. Let me get the updated numbers here. Over the last 28 days. Let me like put this out here first. So the average amount, I would say, of subscribers from the live streams in a 28-day period is anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 or something like that. Average, over the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or something like that. Guess how many new subscribers we have gotten from live streams over the last 28 days? Remember, average 1 to 1.5 thousand. Put your best guesses. I'll give you a minute. And I'll try to show you on the graph. All right, let me see. See the best guesses. Damn, some of you got really close. 100? Damn, we ain't down that bad, but we almost are down that bad. 3K, 10K? No, we did not get more. 6,666. Over the last 28 days, we've gained 300. So that's, again, an average of 1,000 to like 1.5 thousand. 300 is like a third. A third of that. That means like 10 a day? It's like really low for our numbers. Look at this. These are subscribers each week. Look at how this has died, man. You go back to like September, you get like 1,000 in a week. 500 in a week, 500 a week. These are new people. These are directly correlated with new people in the space. 900 in March. We had like 1 week of spicy. Look at these numbers. 50 in a week, 40 in a week. 13. Oh yeah, we didn't. I think this was a week that we kind of took off some days. But still, this undeniable of new people just not entering by it. $3, $3.30. Probably the densest new retail times were right here and right here. And what did they see? They saw it drop to $1.60. They saw price go down 50% in the course of 2 months. Totally wrecked. Go texting. What's up? Buffering chat saying it too. Probably lost connection. Stream disconnected or reconnected? That happened again. I wonder why it's been happening. Refresh. I don't know what you caught. Apparently we lost connection. Thanks, Pickle. But basically I was saying retail. Last time retail was at all joining the space was right here. They didn't buy Bitcoin. They bought XRP. We know this. We just know this. If you are new here in crypto in the last 6 months, you probably bought XRP. It's okay. But you probably bought it at $3 or $3.30. And in the course of just a few weeks, you saw it go down 50%, down to $1.50. Now it's at 230, probably still like kind of scarily below where you started, 20%, 25% after all this time. Retail very briefly entered. They entered the top of XRP. They got slaughtered and they've checked out. You can blame them. That's not a fun ride. Not a good ride, man. Not good. I don't know when they come back in, and the more I feel that to be true, the more I think about that gold outcome. The more I think about something like this happening. Something like this. Where we just keep getting, and of course it won't look exactly like this, but where we just keep getting these moves up, these quick 2 to 4 week moves up, 6 months sideways down, maybe 4 weeks again, pump, 6 months down. It's like a double-sided sword, double-edged sword. The good news is, well, that's really sustainable. If this were the case and we broke a 4-year cycle, man, we could see like 300K in the next few years. Easy. You don't get that euphoria. You don't get kind of all in at the top thing. You get distributed buys and sells. The pressure is much more even. Maybe Sailor and the lots buying can like actually push price up slowly, right? But you just never get that hype. People just never notice. You just end up with something like this. I wonder if I can actually copy this. Yeah, I like this little mix. 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. Can I copy this and bring it to this other chart? Oh, cool, I can. Here's gold after it got an ETF. Right? What if we did this? What if it just looks like that? Maybe we get like a little pump. Maybe like this is the end of the year pump, right? Come right back down to like 80K, break 100K, just slow march back up over the next few years. I don't know. But the more I think about it, the more it's like I feel like that is how you keep everyone out and you get the price higher. Because clearly the FOMO events, clearly like retail entering in mass is why it goes down every time, right? Like you look at XRP's chart, people came in, that was the top, at least for the time being. In Bitcoin's history, in these bull runs, it's like people come in, the top's there. What if there's just like no event where people come in? Do we just do this? It would suck as a content creator because that means like, I don't know, just people never want to watch the content. No new people, man. I don't know. I'll take that. We say that, Bush, but what that really means is then we just have this. We just have what we've seen over the last 2 years, which is really kind of painful price action, even though it's gone up. It really hasn't gone down. But this hasn't been fun. This hasn't felt good. Becoming digital gold, more true, maybe. Literally. What's up, Greg? Darius, after that weekly close, 97K in play. Interesting. Someone else says 98K in play. I said yeah. 97K, of course. Of course. Ah. Interesting. Of course. I think the odds of moving to like back to the all-time high though are better. I think we do that first. I think today we move back to 106.5. Will we ever return to 98, 97K? I think with almost absolute confidence, yes. Today, I don't think so. 93 though. 93 is the pivot I'm more concerned about. Touching 98, 97 is just not really super critical. Could happen, could not happen. If we're going to do another leg up to like 130K, we're probably going to avoid those back tests because that's what we've done, at least so far. Where's that moolah going to come from? Where does it ever come from, my friend? I get it. People always want to answer that question. We want logic. We're humans. Where's the money going to come from? I've heard that on repeat every year I've ever been in crypto. Where does the money ever come from, though? Where did the money come from to do this? I'll tell you with 100% certainty, it was not from new retail. Retail did not do this. In fact, the opposite, man. Everyone and their mom flushed out. Everyone was so fucking scared. New retail didn't push us up. New retail didn't even notice until right here, and that's where the top is. So we say, okay, new people entering is new money, and that's how we get higher prices, but the opposite seems to be true. The higher prices attracts the new people, and then when the new people enter, it's over. I can't explain to you how or why. It just is. New people entering the space has like never pushed the chart. Like maybe from here to here, okay? Maybe from this area to here. I think it's arguable. I think it's still arguable. But like never have we seen new people come in at lows and push the price up. Like that's just not the case. New people came in mass right here. It was the top again. New people came in here. It was the top again. Where does the money come from? I do not know. But it is not new people. I promise you. It's almost like their money is poisoned. When they enter the space, it like reverses. Money comes from the bank? Maybe. Well, when we talk about market cap, we also could say you don't really need new money. You could just have the same amount of buying and just have less selling pressure and price can move up. Doesn't require any new money in that sense. It's like it's a balancing act, right? Of buying and selling. If there's less selling, price can move up without more buying. Money comes from hard work, man. I used to believe that. QE. I mean, we've made it pretty high without any QE though, right? Blockchain basement, we haven't had any QE on this run. And we've done pretty good. Where does the money come from? It's a great question, but I don't think it's a question that has an answer. I mean, we have answers. Look at Sailor, how many billions does he buy, right? Well, most of those billions were right here. It's weird. It's almost like buying pushes the chart down. Most of Sailor's big buys were right here. I mean, he's been buying forever, but like, you look at it, the bulk is here. There's a good amount here, but it's like, it seems that when buyers come in, the chart goes down. Don't know. Money comes from POW. Maybe. There is a gap at 92. I don't know how I feel about this one. That would be under 93.3. If price is under 93.3, things look kind of crappy again. Very crappy again. Heard theory that they short futures buy spot. I mean, that is a way to remain kind of net neutral. You can buy spot and sell like, or short on 1x, you know, and you are net neutral, price agnostic. It's a very safe position to be. But is that the reason? I don't know. What's up, Brandon? RGT, what is that? Retailer provides liquidity, then they panic dump, taking their liquidity. I don't disagree, but where are they? Where's their liquidity? It's weird, man. Retail wasn't here. Retail wasn't here. Retail has like just so briefly existed in this entire run. Maybe a little bit here. And then a little bit here. And like that's it. I don't know what makes the chart go up. Something fundamental to Bitcoin. Maybe that's part of the belief, is there's just something fundamental about it. Limited supply. scheduled inflation, mining, I don't know. All those things together creates this, I guess. Fake money. All money is fake money. What's that Midwest picker? Let's see high all the time. We're heading to 106.5 today. Again, I think. In July, between the peaks with stimmy money. Give you $100. Does that ever work? Also, how would anyone give you $100? Like, oh, that's all you've ever said here. Has that ever worked? Hell will start to pound, true. Can we have a mini alt season? I think there's still more pain ahead before alt season. I think this is gonna look exactly like this. Oh wow, I happened to select like the hardest, the craziest spot on it ever. Wow, okay, you do that again. There we go. I think this is what's in play. Still more pain ahead. Ban beggars, yeah. You have a wallet, well, goodbye. News about Trump. Putin phone calls out. Meh, don't care. Money is made out of thin air. Dude, all money is fake. Bitcoin is real. Bitcoin is the first real money maybe ever. Currency has always been fake money. Bartering, real money. Currency's always been fake money though. Making me hungry. This is a fire mix. BTC.D targets, man, I think 71, 74. I've been calling for like a new high in the cycle. I think that would just be the least expected biggest mix-up. Break to like 75% dominance, blow off top, falls down, alt season starts, everybody 1,000% against alts at the time where they're probably at their like lowest valuation. Then it all reverses, alts blast up, everybody dumps their positions in Bitcoin right after they've dumped all their alt positions for Bitcoin just to buy the top of alts again. The cycle continues. Seems to be how it is, man. There's always a point where everyone's like, why am I in alts? Alts are so dumb. And it's like right before the bottoms are in and all start going up. And then at some point people say, "What? Bitcoin's so dumb. Why would you buy Bitcoin? I'm going all in on alts." Like just in time to buy the top. They buy the top in both directions. It's wild. The problem though is that there's just no hype. There's just nobody here. There's nobody here to like buy the top. I mean, they come in at the top, you're right. But like, usually there's like, I don't know. Usually you can like hear that rhetoric from people entering. Usually there's like a trickle, but there's just like no trickle. There's nobody. I don't know. What's up, Random Particle? I see you subscribing. I see everybody subscribing. This guy, Random Particle, what a Chad. Be like him. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. We are live here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We've been live on YouTube for almost 6 years now. It's wild. Time flies. You should join our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. It's free. If you sign up with any of the links in the video description below, you will get VIP roles in that Discord. It's the only way. It's the only way to get VIP. You should check out joincrowncrypto.com. You should join us on Wednesday for our next live stream. I think we're going to wrap it here. I'm still bullish. I think we're still moving higher. Monday is known for kind of a fake out day. But man, the signal, to make a long story short, Today's daily close, if it's above 106.4, if it's a green candle, if this closes a hammer, I think we head to all-time highs this week. I think that timing lines up really well. If we have a green week into Friday, we see Friday's coveted golden cross play out. Right at the all-time high. Wow, something is in my eye again. Perfect. Didn't mean to have something in my eye, but it's good timing. Fuck. Shit, man. Okay. Yep, well, that works out. I love you all. You're the best. Stay bullish. Stick with your convictions.